What helped me write a novel? An encouraging friend. If there's anyone to blame for tricking me into writing a novel, it would be this lady right here, Lena Sturley. She has a master's in English and loves to read. After she read the TV pilot, 3-0, she kept saying to me, "I wish this story could be a novel. I want to find out what happens next." Not only did she find out what happens next, but she read the same story over and over and over again and kept encouraging me to finish it. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, Catapult would not exist. Writing every day. I would set a goal to write 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Whether it was for 5 minutes or a few hours, I made it into a habit with no excuses. I wanted it to be a weekly discipline to really help my story and get to that 40,000 word count so I could have a novel. Each chapter its own document. I chose to write the novel in a lot of little pieces. I thought that it would be better to write inside of a chapter instead of an entire document, because it was so much easier to know what my word count was in each chapter. And then on top of that, if I had to fix a story issue, then I could go to the small document versus through searching the entire huge document. Details inspired by news stories. I would find these interesting stories, like Columbia's Emerald Battle, that I thought would be a good backdrop to Papa Juan's character. Or I'd find that MIT and Microsoft were developing a smart tattoo, which didn't make it into book 1, but will show up in book 2. Spoiler alert. Or there was this man trapped in a container that got shipped across the ocean, and it found its way into Kingston's conversation with Violet about playing hide and go seek at the port and falling asleep inside a container. Drawing diagrams. First of all, forgive my diagram drawing skills. It was more about figuring out the details of the story, and I needed a visual to do so, like with the aquarium maze, just understanding where Kingston was going and how he was going to get there. Also, in the final shootout at the gala in the opera room, I needed to figure out who was shooting what, so I made a visual outline so you could understand what was going on in that room. Reedsy.com. My husband Parker recommended that I use this website called Reedsy.com. It's an excellent resource for self-publishing. It gives you access to find professional editors and designers, and I have to say, for sure, it elevated Catapult to a professional level. It had such creative insight and wonderful constructive criticism that truly helped me finish this novel. 3 editors. I hired 3 different editors. About a year and a half in, I chose Jim Spivey to do a copy edit. However, he ended up giving me a developmental story edit, and that sent me back into a massive rewrite. Then, a year later, I chose Kendall Davis for an editorial assessment to see if I was ready for publishing. She truly helped me push the story across the finish line. And then finally, I chose Lana Barnes for proofreading, and she helped me with punctuation, continuity, and to be honest, she made me look grammar smart. Honest feedback. I got a great deal of honest feedback from Lena, my editors, and beta readers. One piece of feedback from my first editor, Jim. He said, "In fact, I think you have 3 books here, not 1. This feedback pushed half of what I had written into book 2. Another piece of feedback gave me the green light from my second editor. She said, "I think you have a really exciting story here. It's an easy story to read, the characters are likable, and the world is a fun one to get involved in." Tossing words into the scratch pile. I have a really hard time completely deleting words that I have spent hours working on. So I decided to create a scratch pile. It's its own special document. That way I could take it from the main story, cut it, and paste it into the scratch pile, and it would be forever saved just in case I needed to resurrect words or go back and reference something or use the story in the future. It would be there in its own document, safe and sound. Amazing designer. I chose a graphic designer named David Provello. He is absolutely outstanding. What I really liked about his work was his modern aesthetic and that he created super interesting book covers. What's crazy though is that we did not speak once during the entire project. It was all done over email, and he was able to truly capture the look and feel of Catapult after a couple of proofs. In my opinion, I think he nailed it. He also formatted the layout of the book itself and did such a great job. Beta readers. Thank you so much to all my beta readers. You were an incredible help to me. Not giving up. I had no idea when I started this whole journey that it was going to take 3 years to write this novel. Had I known, I probably wouldn't have endeavored to do so. It was definitely difficult and challenging, and there were moments where I was thinking, why am I wasting my time? But then I would have these moments where I would get inspired and it would carry me to the next story idea, and I have this great sense of fulfillment. I mean, overall, I'm glad that I did this, and I guess I would say that if you're wanting to write something, part of the process is not giving up until you've completed your whole idea. And you know, the craziest part about this whole thing is that I'm gonna do it all over again.